Chelsea fans, I finally understand why Chelsea haven't signed Garnacho and Xavi Simons yet. An article's been released explaining fully what the UEFA charges are and which players actually count and certain players don't count against the regulations that we have breached. I'm going to explain everything for you in one concise video. Furthermore, Renato Vega is gone. My favorite translator is leaving the club, and sadly, who is going to replace him with the 7 languages that he brought to the table? It looks like he's moving on. 25 million euros, or 29 million euros actually, plus a huge sell-on fee, and Villarreal is the club that's going to be paying us that money. Wonderful, pay me my money. Wesley Fana, it looks like he's in a mood to upset Chelsea fans. Well, that's what, according to the latest narrative that is spewed about this player. I am going to come to the defense of this player. I am sick and tired of Chelsea fans having emotional hissy fits about anything a player does on Instagram, alright? I'm going to talk about it one final time and you can get over it. And finally, Axel Disasi. Bournemouth are looking at him and they are absolutely starting to annoy me. Are they an Italian club? No, you do not get a loan with an option. You just made £200 million in sales. You are not getting a loan with an option. So, let's get this started. Before we do though, I need you to pay your rent. Hit that like button. Rent is compulsory. It's mandatory on this channel. Hit that like button. Secondly, we're 215 people away from 43,000. So if you're new, do me a favor, subscribe now and let me know you subscribe. Now let's get it started. Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time were breached by UEFA. We know this. This is a fact, right? This is not a hypothesis. This is factual information. Chelsea were breached. And what Chelsea have is a £20 million fine and then an additional 60 million spread across 3 years unless Chelsea show good behavior and a good attitude to get out of the kind of financial predicament that they're in. What Chelsea essentially need to do is get a net zero. Basically not overspend, and UEFA is going to be happy and that 60 million fine won't come. But, and this is the key, what was happening is Chelsea was spending a lot of money because of the Club World Cup. And now it got to a point where Xavi Simons and Garnacho really slowed down. Chelsea put all the foundations in place and everyone was wondering, why are these players not at the club yet? Well, today, Kieran Gill, shout out to Kieran Gill at the Daily Mail, has written an article explaining it. Chelsea aren't only meant to sell. What Chelsea are meant to do is look at the squad that was registered last year under the rule in the Conference League. So after the knockout stages started, not before, after. That's the key. And then from that squad, the players that get sold, they're the ones that count towards the balancing of the... Meaning, Nkunku will count, Jackson will count, Noni counted, Amugu counted. However, players like Joao Felix, Disasi, they're not going to count. Renato Vega, they're not going to count. Chelsea need to balance the books, and they're going to have to balance the books on the players that have been signed, registered as UEFA players. If Chelsea can't do that, there are ramifications. Ramifications being Chelsea can only register a certain amount of players, and a certain amount of players will be cut off the list. So, new players such as Joao Pedro, Liam Delap, and anyone else like Gittins, Estevao, Andre Santos will not get the precedent of being registered in the squad, even though Chelsea want to. So unless Chelsea find a way to balance these books, from my understanding of the information that I've been presented, Chelsea need to make sure they get Nkunku out, they need to get Jackson out, and from there onwards, they can bring in Xavi Simons and they can bring in Garnacho, but the books will be more balanced. That is the explanation behind these breaches. There's been a lot of scaremongering, that's going to be more fines. There won't be. Genuinely, at this moment in time, we've been punished. Punishment is simple, 20 million and then 60 million based on future behavior. Meaning if we're good, we don't pay nothing. If we're bad, it could be up to 60 million pounds. Trust me, Chelsea aren't going to be bad. They've learned their lesson, and not only have they learned their lesson, they pushed the boat out far enough that they wanted to. Now they're going to pull it back. The problem is, someone's got to buy Jackson and Nkunku for us to go and get Xavi Simons and for us to go and get Garnacho. I hope this helps because I think it's important to get the clarity around the news. The second piece of news today is Renato Vega. For those of you that don't know, Renato Vega is a player that basically had a huge inconsistent tenure at Chelsea. That's politely put, right? It's very politically correct. Inconsistent tenure. Don't want to offend him, don't want to offend Chelsea. I'm staying down the middle gazers. But what has happened? He joined Chelsea. Chelsea gave him the lovely life of living in London. They gave him an opportunity to play for a big club. They gave him a call up to Portugal because if he didn't play for a club as big as Chelsea, my man weren't playing. As beautiful as he thinks his footballing skills are, he ain't that good, right? What ended up happening was Roberto Martinez got into his ear and he was yappa. And the player decided that, oh, I need to play regularly, otherwise I won't play for my country. Understandable, wants to play regular football, forced the move, didn't get the move to Dortmund that he required. Then all of a sudden, a move to Juventus transpired where we got some money, which was around about £5 to £7 million for him to go on loan. He went there, played well, got injured, came back, left out the Club World Cup squad, which triggered him and he was very upset, reports came out. Now he is being sold to Villarreal because his move to Atletico Madrid collapsed. And the move is around about £25 million, 29 million euros. And this is the key here, a hefty sell-on fee according to Fabrizio Romano. That is massive. That makes the deal even better. Because if Renato is what Renato thinks he is and a very good special player, Renato will be sold on for a lot more money. Meaning Chelsea get some more money and they get that value that they wanted, around about 35 to 30 million pounds. So an extra 5 million. They've already got 30 though. 5 million for loaning him and then an additional 25 for selling him right now, with the incentive of a sell-on. Brilliant business from Chelsea. He wasn't going to play. What I think happened is, when he pushed for his move for Dortmund, I think a lot of bridges got burnt, you know? A lot of bridges, the foundations fell down, everything was broken, and it got to a point where the fans turned on him, certain fans that is, then the team turned on him in terms of the board and the manager, and there was just no way of coming back. The other piece of news is regarding Disasi, and this is an interesting one. Chelsea have got, at this moment in time, 7 or 8 players to sell, right? And around about 2 players to loan. I think that is being realistic. Some of these players are Renato Fana, Raheem Sterling, Nkunku, Jackson, Disasi, Ben Chilwell, and I can't remember the other 2, but they're still on the list. Tariq George and Anselmino are loans that are going to be going out. There's only 11 days left in the market, and honestly, a part of me needs this market to end. I want to go back to making 22 to 24 videos a month rather than making 31. Everyday videos is draining, but I'm here for you lot, so you better hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we're 200 people away. Do your thing. And now, Disasi is one of the players on the list and Bournemouth were interested. Bournemouth want to give a loan fee, and Chelsea have got a good relationship with Bournemouth, we know that. But they want to have an option. Nah, it ain't working. Sorry, Giza, it's not working. What do you think this is? A call from Turin? A call from Milan? A call from Napoli? Not a chance. You're not getting a loan with an option. Alright? I'm sorry. You had that with Kepa, you didn't take it. Now, Kepa's at Arsenal, we got our money anyway, so we're not moaning. But Axel Disasi needs to leave on a permanent. There needs to be a move sorted. I am sorry, under no circumstances are we loaning him when we know you just made £200 million worth of bread this summer. And people are going to say, what are you talking about? Just from Huijsen, they made 55 million pounds. Zubani went for 65 million pounds. That together is already close to 120 million. I also know they lost Kavkas, which was around about 40 million pounds. That takes you 160. In that meantime, they lost other players that they sold on. Do you think we are stupid? You've got the money. You've bought Petrovic. You've got the money. If you want the Sassy, take him. You're paying us peas though. I promise you, I would rather sell him on loan to a Juventus, a Napoli, and let him go perform there than send him to Bournemouth. Because I can take getting mugged off by Italian clubs. It's normal, everyone. The minute we start getting mugged off by English clubs, I ain't having it. I'm sorry. What, you think because you got a beach in Bournemouth, you're allowed to take the piss out of her? Okay, that's cute. Your water's cold. Your water's freezing. I'm not going into that water. It doesn't count as a beach. If I can't swim in the Bournemouth Sea, it don't count as a beach, all right? I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. If I'm getting hypothermia when I go into that beach, it don't count as a beach. So that your selling point is over. Bournemouth, pay up or get out of it. The final piece of news is regarding Wesley Fana, and I think we need to have this chat. Wesley Fana erased, I can't believe I'm talking about this, erased photos off his Instagram that involved Chelsea Football Club. And what these photos now currently reside are key moments in his historical time as a footballer, right? And what has happened is Chelsea fans did gymnastics. You know, all of them are professionals at algebra, calculus, Pythagoras' theorem, sine, cos, tan. They know everything. Every single mathematical theory, they know. So nothing can go past them. You deleted something at 8:47 in the morning, meaning we are approximately in 4 hours and 47 minutes and 85 seconds, we are going to get an announcement that you're leaving the club. That it has to be that. It has to be that. No, the player basically was cleaning up his Instagram and wanted to remove some photos. Why is that such a big deal? Another thing, why are you so annoyed that a player can go on his own Instagram and police his own photos? Grow up. We need to do better. Genuinely, recently, this hate towards our own players is blown up. Don't have to hate towards anyone, by the way. But our own players, I don't understand it. Wesley Fana is a bum, apparently, because he never plays football and all he does is post on Instagram. Lavia is a bum, apparently, because all he does is put motivational quotes up and never plays football. Enzo is fat, can't play football, he's not good enough for our club. Caicedo is a shin kicker. I'm hearing certain segments of the fan base say this. Liam Delap is just a rubbish Jackson. He ain't good enough for Josh Achempong, can't pass the ball. He's too lightweight, can't play centre half. Trevor Chalobah is terrible. What does he do on the football pitch? He's stealing a living. Tosin is an uncle at the age of 28 years old. Are we really doing this to our own players? Can we please stop? Genuinely, can we please stop? We've got good players, can we back up? I think we need to actively support our players. And there are certain players that get picked on more than others. Because I promise you right now, certain players get away with liberties. And certain players can't misplace a pass. Jamie Gittins is already being called a bum. He's already being told he isn't good enough. Talk about killing the kid's confidence. We signed the prospect player, so guess what that comes with that? Learning curves. Guess what that comes with that? Development. Guess what comes with that? Inconsistency. So please, can we back him? I didn't want to rant. I didn't. I wanted to be more responsible today, but it is what it is. So, before we end this video, I've got another video for all of you, and it's my predictions for the league this year. Where do I think the super duper Chelsea are going to finish? Where do I think Arsenal are going to finish? And where do I think Manchester City are going to finish? Check that video out. My top goal scorer, my favourite assister, player of the year, all that stuff in that video. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out. 200 people away from 43K. Subscribe.